Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Boss Mod. Today we're talking about the ENTP. ENTP. Um, I have a personal crush on ENTPs. I don't know what it is. Um, so this will be kind of a fun one to talk about, I guess. Before we get into it, though, just briefly on the system that I use here. You have your mental wiring, okay? And then within that, there are these four main components that we talk about within the Boss Mod system and NBTI. And so the first one is your dominant function. Okay, I call this your hero. This is your main player, your main character rather that you use. And it's just what you feel most comfortable using to, in your case, gather more information about the world and learn about the world. The next one is your auxiliary function, which I call your companion. And your companion is a decision-making function. So it helps you make decisions and judgments, deciding what you should do in this situation. And for you, it's based on logic, and I'll get into it. But that's your companion. So your hero, and your companion work really well together, and they put you into flow, and they help you, beat your quests and adventure out there. And there are two more characters within this adventuring party. And the third one is your newbie. So this is your tertiary function. This is also, they're all important, okay? But this is your kind of, hopefully your third priority, okay? And the newbie is, let's say, like a level 10. He's not quite fully into the game, right? He doesn't know exactly what he can do and how to do it and whatnot, but he's got the main idea of how to play, right? This is where you kind of go when you need to calm down a bit and stuff like that. And for you, it's another decision-making function. This one is Extraverted Feeling, so it's about more emotions and ethics, and we'll get into that too. And then last is your inferior or your aspirational function, and I call this the escort. This is AI, basically. It could be good AI, depending on how much you work on personal growth. And also, the older you get, the more experience you have using it. But it causes you a lot of problems because it's the mirror opposite of your hero style. Okay? So let's get into it. First up is the hero, which is extroverted intuition. This is, like I said, your main state, your compulsion. You just always want to use this. And what this is basically connecting abstract ideas and patterns. So you're very high energy, and you're always kind of bouncing around and looking for ideas. Your brain is doing the same thing, right? It's trying to connect these different ideas and informations through just different contexts. Okay, so anything that you've experienced or you see around you, you're just kind of pinging each side, trying to figure out where the connections are. And it's fun for you, it's exciting, it's energizing for you, and it's just all about what if. Okay, what if this happens, or what could I do in this situation, or if I were this kind of person, what would I be like? What would I act like in this situation? And it's all abstract. It's not looking for those tangible, real details, but just inferring based on the context and the patterns that it can find. So I consider this to be like a dwarf gunslinger. This dude with a shotgun, it's a hunter, right? He just wants to go explore and chase new ideas and beasts and capture them and see what it's like. Just to see if he can do it. Kind of challenge himself. And this is your style, okay? So you want to explore the world. You want to go out there and make this broad map of the landscape, but without real clear small details, right? You just want to see like what is out there. Just explore, get rid of all that fog of war, just to have fun with it. And the other functions in your stack will kind of balance that out. Okay, and I'll get into that too. Some abilities that I wrote up for the gunslinger here that I'll read. I'm looking over here. Sorry. Flare, reveal what could be hidden. So you're always looking for what is kind of behind the context or behind the curtain, I guess. Just trying to figure out different connections and imagine what could be there. You're not looking for like the clear details. I've said this a few times, but it's really important. It's not important about the size and shape and texture as much as what that could mean or what that reminds you of. So what else? Evade, dodge, and escape a situation while moving. So you're very open to new alternatives and especially more interesting ones. So you don't want to hold yourself back from exploring new options. And when you have to make a decision, it kind of sucks for you because, you're not making all these other decisions. You're not exploring all these other ones if you choose this one. And, just in your mind, you're like, oh man, but that one would have been nice. That would have been cool. Might have been interesting if I did that. So, you kind of try to evade making clear-cut choices. That's what extroverted intuition is anyway. Let's see. Opportunists find new ways to attack a target, innovative creativity. Explosive rounds, basically AoE, right? So you got your shotgun, you're shooting out, and just one idea connects to another idea, and it's just all out there. And you engulf the whole area with fire. So that's basically like you're lighting everything up so that you can ping it, like we were talking about before, and connect those ideas to find out the patterns behind them. Eagle eye, scan for relationships in the environment. Kind of talked about that. Jump shot, shoot the ground as you jump, launching yourself away. Hunters, gunslingers, are very playful and kind of restless, and you're happy to just try something, just to shake things up, right? So you'll shoot the ground, you'll take a little bit of damage, but you'll see what happens. And through that, you gain more mastery and understanding of the world. That's good. Okay, so that's the hero style. That's your main style. But you need to balance out your party, your adventuring party here. So your companion comes in to help you make more logical, clear decisions. In this case, it's introverted thinking, and introverted thinking is about using real logic to make these, let's say, to go back into your past and figure out how to categorize and weigh the different pros and cons and risks and benefits of a situation. So you do that, and then you get this clear decision on how you should act because of how things work in the world, how things are categorized, like I said. So you use that to gain leverage. And I consider an introverted thinking function to be like an arcanist, like an elf mage. So kind of summoning this ability from within and casting it out. And you're looking for more of like the precise, accurate decision, okay, and information. You don't want to cloud it with emotions or anything like that. You just want to know like the math behind it, the technical understanding. And this combines really well with extroverted intuition. So they're working together to kind of give you that quick wit that you probably have, stereotypically. But it's because you have like, let's say this just big database of information, and you're pulling out the specific words and grammar and context and ideas that you need to explain it in whatever way you see fit. So that's kind of how those two work together. If you really want like a clear push to make the right choice and to do something that's beneficial for you, you're going to want to listen to that logical side. Okay, so you naturally have like a difficult time finding this flow state, probably, because extroverted intuition is just always bouncing around, right? And it's hard to settle into one thing so that you can really feel that flow connection and feel like it's what you really want to do and what energizes you and stuff like that. Because what energizes you is exploring new ideas, right? So it's kind of like a catch-22. It's difficult to do. But to find that growth state, you're going to want to listen to introverted thinking and just gain more technical information about whatever you're interested in and try to dive into it a bit more and introspect a bit more instead of just exploring what's out there. Okay. Next up is your newbie. So your newbie is the mirror opposite of your companion. So your companion was introverted thinking, is introverted thinking. So your newbie is extraverted feeling. So this is the opposite side, right? Introverted functions are looking inside at different archetypes and how things worked in the past and how they should be kind of now and into the future. But extroverted functions, like extroverted intuition, are about exploring with breadth, like just many different instances, right? Instead of like narrowing down onto one. And feeling is about, ethics and the social environment, right? And different relationships between people and whatnot. So extroverted feeling is trying to piece together how people value different things, how people feel in different contexts, right? And then it naturally would push people to kind of help other people, let's say, and make sure that they feel good in each different situation. But this is your newbie. This is your tertiary function. So it's not as high up on the priority. Okay, it's like third. So what you normally do is make decisions based on that logic, right? But sometimes you should, kind of focus on how those choices affect other people. If you don't listen to the newbie at all, if it's just like not even part of your group, if you're not thinking about this healing cleric aspect, then this is where you might get a little trolly and just kind of play with people just to see what happens without that understanding of what the repercussions could be. So be careful with that. Make sure that you include this cleric, this AoE healer into your group, because this is how you're going to get more like social confidence and get people behind your amazing ideas that you have, right? You need other people. It's just a fact of life. Other people are important, right? So you have to bring them in to have them behind you and help you out, so that things work out better. So that's your extroverted feeling, your dwarf cleric. One good thing though about the newbie is that when you get into a situation where you get a little stressed out, or you're just kind of tired, you don't want to introspect too much, that's when you can go out and just feel how people are feeling around you and kind of vibe off their energy and focus on how you can explore other people's emotions and them as a person. So that'll put you back into that extroverted mindset, which will link you back into extroverted intuition, which is where you want to be most of the time. Next up is your inferior, your aspirational function. This is, like I said, that escort. It's AI. It's not really controllable for you. Causes you a lot of issues. And what it is for you is introverted sensing. So it's the mirror opposite of extroverted intuition. So if extroverted intuition is all about the abstract, broad details, introverted sensing is more narrowed down. It's like the tip of the shotgun, right? Before it spreads out. And it basically, sensing gathers sensory information, right? Touch and taste and sight and smell and all that stuff. But the introverted part of it is bringing it into your head, into your mind, and like cycling through it and trying to find the most reliable information based on your past experiences that you can use now and into the future. So it's not looking for patterns necessarily, it's looking for exact details. And, you might be laughing to yourself now because extroverted intuition, you don't really care too much about those details. You just want to know more of like the theories and the concepts behind it, right? Combined with introverted thinking. But introverted sensing is just trying to hold you back and keep you from exploring and have you like narrow in on those details. And it wants to push you to get more routine in your life and to just settle down and to delve into like one thing so you can hyper focus on it, and that's pretty rough for you. I'm sure there are plenty of instances in your life where you've done that and it's felt fine, but it's not like what you're naturally predisposed to doing. And it kind of makes you freak out a little bit because when you have to focus, I said this a little bit earlier, when you have to focus on one thing, you are not exploring all these other details, right? And that causes you some stress and anxiety because you don't know if you're making the right choice, right? And that's where introverted thinking comes in. That's where that elf arcanist helps you gain that like long-term introspective ability, right? But introverted sensing is another way of looking inside yourself. Just make sure that you don't give it too much priority. You want to explore, but you can kind of narrow down the range that you explore, right? Instead of trying to clear that fog of war of the whole world, explore this little continent, okay? And get more into detail with that because there's more to explore as you zoom in. It's like a magnifying glass, right? There's without it, you see all this stuff, and then you put the magnifying glass up and you see everything else in more detail, right? And the closer you get, the more like variety there is within that. That's, I don't know, my on the moment, on the spot metaphor right there. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just when you freak out, when you get stressed out, check in with your newbie and try to do something productive involving other people, and that'll put you back into extroverted intuition. And then your real strong decision-making function is introverted thinking. So use that logic and your models, your understanding of the world, based on like real solid details. Sorry, not details, but like empirical evidence and stuff like that. Use that to make proper decisions. All right. I think that's about it. There's way more information on the website www.boss-mod.com/ENTP. It's kind of hard to do this without notes, but I try. So if you have any comments, questions, or don't agree or do agree, please post below and I'll hit you back up. All right. Good luck. Have fun. See you.